boy, can we just have a game this season where I can just sit back and just relax and enjoy the game a little more easier than a close one. But listen, the Eagles go to 3-1. They beat the L.A. Chargers 26-24, the final from StubHub Center. And first, they said it. They gave a little stats. The first time the Eagles beat the Chargers in California since 1974. So that goes back a ways. I know they only play them about once every 4 years, but still, that's a long time before their last victory in California against the Chargers. And of course, back then they were the San Diego Chargers. So Eagles win. It's a 2-point game. They're up 26-24 with 6 minutes and 44 seconds left on the clock. And what do? They run the clock out. So I got to give a game ball here. To the coach, to Doug Peterson, who's been much maligned, even after wins. For the game plan, for the play calling. Why are you going for it on 4th and 8? And look, it's all with merited. But he came out today with a great game plan. There was balance. The Eagles absolutely took control of the Chargers' defensive front. Eagles' offensive line was dominant in this game. They protected Carson Wentz against the pass rush, which is one of Los Angeles' strengths. Bosa and Ingram. You didn't hear their names called very often. And boy, they pounded that rock. I mean, it was old school football today. The Eagles won the game today. This was an old school game. The Eagles had to win the game by running the ball, controlling the clock. They dominated the time of possession, which they've done a very good job of since Peterson's come in as a head coach. And the other important thing today, no turnovers. The Eagles got a turnover, which I thought was kind of interesting. If those of you who watched the live stream last night saw me get my first win in Madden, and how did I get it at the end of the game? It was Chris Long strip sacking Phillip Rivers, and of course the first drive for the Chargers, it was Chris Long strip sacking Phillip Rivers. So that's a case where life imitates art a little bit, huh? It actually looked kind of similar to the Eagles game last night for a time. It was even 13-0 Eagles, and then 13-7 Eagles, and then the score changed a little bit. But nonetheless, a great game plan by Doug Peterson. Carson Wentz looked sharp out there. He was precise. Nice passes there. He threw a couple long balls, too. A couple nice receptions there on some deep passes. Not a lot. And, again, this was an old school attack. We're going to run the ball. We're going to have a running game that leads to the passing game. Not the other way around. We're not just going to come out and pass every time. We're going to run the ball. We're going to establish a running game, and that's going to lead to some open passes down the field. And you saw that throughout the course of the game. Great game plan by Doug Peterson. Well executed. It was probably one of the best executed games overall offensively. Now you would have liked to have seen them score a few more touchdowns instead of getting some field goals. And by the way, shout out to Jake Elliott. Perfect on the day. I guess when you hit a 61-yard game-winning field goal, you just have a ton of confidence. And not only that, but the coach has a ton of confidence in him, allowing him to get out there for some long field goals again today, and he nailed them. So, great job by him. Great job all around. Again, you would have liked to see a few more touchdowns there in those situations. And you know what? Against some other teams, hopefully they can turn those opportunities into touchdowns. Because you certainly don't want to be in a situation where you're trading, field goals for touchdowns the other way. They did get Jordan Hicks back today. Fletcher Cox is going to be out probably another week or two. They also got McLeod back today, so that's good. That helps the defense. They gave up some big plays, but you know what? Overall, their defense played pretty well, too. I mean, they were harassing Rivers the whole game, shut down the Chargers' run. No one has been able to run the ball very well on the Eagles so far this season. This is a very good run-stopping defense, and it's a defense that will harass the opposing quarterback. And, one turnover early in the game on the strip sack by Long, recovered by Barnett. So nice job all around there. And again, I got to tip the hat again to the offense because you know what? Again, 6 minutes and 44 seconds, and the Chargers had all 3 timeouts in the 2-minute warning, and they didn't get the ball back. Great closing drive for the Eagles. LeGarrette Blount, man, he looked like Marshawn Lynch out there from time to time. Big, long run. He rushed for over 100 yards. Nice game also by Wendell Smallwood and by the rook, Corey Clement, of course, in place of the injured Darren Sproles. They also bring back Varner. Nice job by him on the punts and the kickoffs. Well, really all he did was knee down in the end zone, but you know. Nice job by him. Great win. Great win. Anytime you can get a win on the road is a great win. I don't care if the Chargers came in 0-3. It just makes them that much more dangerous team. And they have some weapons on the offensive side of the ball. I mean, you saw Keenan Allen, Phillip Rivers. If you give him time, he's going to pick you apart. And, to walk out of there with a win feels really good. It feels even better because Dallas, unlike us, beating an LA team today, they lost to an LA team at home. So the Eagles win and Dallas loses. It's a double victory Sunday here in the greater Philadelphia area and, of course, in all of Eagles Nation. And speaking of Eagles Nation, I got to give another game ball out. I got to give another game ball out to all of Eagle Nation who took over that stadium. I mean, it was nice that the Chargers had the Eagles wear their home jerseys today because it was basically a home game for the Eagles. It was basically, as Merrill Reese called it on the radio, it was basically Lincoln Financial Field West. There was a ton of Eagle fans there, and they were making noise. At times, you really thought it was a home game for the Eagles. So it was nice that the Eagles had an extra home game on the schedule this year. The fans who went there were treated to it just a great win. A great win. And a big shout and another game ball for Mighty Fan goes to the fans who took over StubHub Center and certainly made their voices known. And it was a thing of beauty. It really was. You see all the shouts in the crowd. It's all Eagle fans. It's all the green there. The splattering of Charger fans. But and I know last week it was all Chiefs fans. So I don't think that move worked very well for the Chargers. I do still feel bad. I think they still should be in San Diego. But it's a shame they couldn't get a new stadium there. I really don't think they belong in Los Angeles. I don't know how long they're going to be in Los Angeles. I'd imagine when they get that new stadium built, that's going to help them a bit. But, what it is, what it is. And I don't want to go too long here. I do want to say, though, it was a great win. Maybe I'll come back with another vid before the Arizona game. Hey, you know what? We get to bask another week in victory. That's 2 straight weeks we get to do so. 3 out of 4 weeks so far we've been able to do so. They're off to a really good start. Obviously, it's how you finish. It's not how you start. But I'd rather be 3-1 than 1-3 or 0-4. Again, this was a game that was won in the fourth quarter. It was won in the trenches. It was old school smash mouth football. LeGarrette Blount, Clement, Smallwood, just that offensive line going to work against San Diego's defensive front. And that is why I've always said that it's a simple game sometimes. This game is won in the trenches. It's won up front. If you can dominate the line of scrimmage, you're going to win the game. And that's exactly what the Eagles did today. The offense had to pick up the defense there at the end. The defense gave up a touchdown. Eagles just scored a touchdown. Chargers come back, score a touchdown. And it was the offense picking the defense up. We've seen the defense pick up the offense, right, a few times already and in some key moments. Well, today it was the offense picking up the defense, and that's a total team. That's why the Eagles are 3-1 right now. It's a total team. They've played really well. And are there things they need to get better at? Absolutely. There are things they need to clean up. But another great win. Great win. Ball with 6 minutes and 44 seconds left in the clock, up 2 points, and you end up winning with the ball. Chargers never even get the ball back. That was a thing of beauty. So big win for the Eagles, 3-1. I got my Zach Ertz jersey on today. I picked it up actually today from Flea Market. So I got this today. Nice. I guess it's basically like the Nike Swingman, jersey for the Eagles. But picked up this Zach Ertz jersey today, and he's done a nice job. He's one of the league leaders in receptions and receiving yards on the season. So nice to see him having a nice full season. Sometimes in the past we've seen him for a few games and then he goes disappearing. But so far this season, so good for number 86. And anyhow, great win as always. I'm very happy after an Eagles win. I got the lights on. I'm going to ring the wind chimes when I head upstairs momentarily. And I'm going to get some dinner. The only problem with these late games is you're kind of out of whack after the game. But all right, Eagles Nation, I will see you guys. Probably I'll try to film another vid later in the week looking ahead to the Arizona Cardinals. Going to be a tough game next week. The Cardinals always give the Eagles fits. So it's going to be a tough game. But you know what? We're 3-1 going back home for another home game. Feels like 3 straight in a row. 1 East, 1 West, now back East. So I'll see you all later in the week. I'll try to do some live streams also on the PS4. We'll see what happens if I have time for it. And you did see I got my first victory yesterday. The Eagles over the Chargers. Now I will take on the Cardinals on Saturday night as I usually do with them. Actually, I may have to play the game either earlier on Saturday or maybe even Thursday. Because I'm going with my buddy Mark M. out to a Flyers minor league game, the Lehigh Valley Phantoms, on Saturday night. Looking forward to that, hanging out with Mark M. and going to a game. So I probably won't be able to do the Madden game that night. So either I do it during the day or Thursday night, or I'll figure something out. But anyhow, Eagles win, Eagles win. As always, let's go Birds. I'll see you all later in the week. Great win tonight and a great game all around, Eagles. Great play calling by Doug Peterson and great execution by the Eagles offense. They closed the game out. All right, everyone. I'll see you guys in the next vid. Go Birds. Bye.